Ah, okay. Well, now that this is being recorded, I got to read what it says here. Okay.
Oh, the script.
Okay, yes. Okay, so I would like to call the meeting of the State Ethics Commission to order. Today is July 15th, 2021, and the time is 9:05 according to my computer. So for our minutes, I'd like to call all the participants. I'd like to note all the participants on this meeting. I am Commissioner Vice Chair Melinda Wood. Commissioner Gralty, are you here?
Present.
Okay. Commissioner Fong.
Here.
Commissioner McCarthy.
Here.
I'll also note the presence of staff, Executive Director Gluck, Associate Director Yoza, Staff Attorneys Chuck, Knifer, Chang, and Campbell, and Computer Specialist Patrick Louie. Are there any members of the public joining us who'd like to identify themselves at this time?
Good morning, Commissioner Sandy Ma with Common Thoughts Hawaii.
Oh, good. Hello, Sandy.
Hi, good morning.
Okay, so first on the agenda is item 1, the consideration and approval of the minutes of the June 17th, 2021 meeting. Do the commissioners have any comments or corrections to the minutes?
I'll move that the minutes be approved as circulated.
Second?
I will second it.
Okay, so we'll do a roll call on that. Commissioner Gralty?
Aye.
Commissioner Fong?
Aye.
Commissioner McCarthy?
Aye.
And the vice chair votes aye. So we'll move on to agenda item number 2, which is the election of officers. And given that we still have a vacancy on the commission, which I hope will be filled prior to our next meeting, I suggest that we defer this matter until next month, and I can continue to run today's meeting as vice chair. However, if the commissioners would prefer, we can vote now. What are your preferences?
Well, I think we should just vote now, and if I'm in order, I'd like to nominate Melinda as our chair.
Okay.
Since she's vice chair, does she automatically become chair without any vote, or?
No, not necessarily.
Susan, what do you think we need to do in order to properly elevate the vice chair?
We would have to have a vote. It's not automatic that the vice chair becomes the chair for this kind of a vote. If she were just stepping in for a short period of time, then that would be all right. But in order to have her become the chair, you'd need to do it by vote.
In view of that, I would like to support Wes's suggestion that we vote now, and that we vote on Melinda becoming the chair. And we need to take a vote on that first. That we vote now.
If you want to vote now, then I recommend that we take nominations and have everyone send. Okay, so are you officially nominating me?
Yeah, do you need a motion to close the nominations?
Well, we need a second to the nomination, I would think, first.
Yes.
I'll second Wes's nomination. Is there a motion to close?
Okay, and then what we need to do is have you send your vote to Patrick by private message, since voting is a private activity.
Oh, so sorry, Vice Chair. So the votes end up being public. I mean, we had checked this with OIP some time ago, and so if you want to take the vote secretly now and then afterwards, the votes still become public either way. But also, if you're the only nominee, perhaps that makes things a little bit easier.
Also, since we only have one nominee, I think it's pretty much, unless she declines, it's kind of automatic. So
They're not.
Didn't I close the nominations, a motion?
You made a motion and I'll second that.
All right. You need to vote on it, Melinda.
Okay, well, then, Dan, is it okay if I ask everyone for their vote?
Yeah,
How should we
so,
do this?
so a couple of things. So first off, there's a pending motion to close nominations by Commissioner Fong and seconded by Commissioner Gralty. So first would be a call for the vote on that. And then after that, for the voting itself, if the commissioners would prefer to send in private messages to Patrick, and then we can make the votes part of the public record when they are done, that's fine. If there's only one person you feel comfortable, you could just vote in public session. I mean, the voting, how you vote on the chair and vice chair becomes a matter of public record regardless. But you can just do it privately to start and then make it public afterwards.
But first, we have to close, no.
You have Commissioner Fong's motion first. Yeah, it's so Commissioner Fong's motion is on the table right now, which is a motion to close nominations for chair.
And do we have a second on that?
I did.
Yeah, Commissioner Gralty did.
Okay. So now we have to vote on. I'm trying to think how we word this. To close the nominations. That's what we're going to vote on. So let's see. Commissioner Gralty,
Aye.
Commissioner Fong,
Aye.
Commissioner McCarthy,
Aye.
and I'll vote aye. Okay, so the nominations are closed. And when they're, okay, so do you want to send a note to Patrick or shall we vote by voice vote here?
I don't mind a voice vote is fine with me. I don't know about the other two commissioners.
Okay, it seems if a candidate is running unopposed, it's kind of a
Actually,
foregone
According
conclusion.
to, and correct me if I'm wrong, but according to Robert's rules, if you only have one nominee and the bylaws don't, say anything contrary, automatically that nominee becomes the person who is elected. Dan, you can correct me if I'm wrong, or if there's another way to do it.
It's a great question. I don't know, Susan, if you have ideas. I may feel more comfortable just taking the vote so that there is a vote.
think-
But
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I think that we should have a vote because the commission's actions need to be supported by the vote of 3 or more for purposes of
Okay.
any action.
That's fine. That's fine. You want to call for the vote? Well, unless somebody wants it to be private, I mean, it's going to come out public anyway.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that there would need to be a motion to elect Vice Chair Wood as chair, and then a second, and then a call for that vote.
I so move.
Second.
Okay, so
There's got to be a second. Who's second?
Brady.
Craig
Oh.
did very quietly. I heard it. Okay, so I guess we'll call for the vote. Commissioner Gralty,
Aye.
Commissioner Fong,
Aye.
Commissioner McCarthy,
Aye.
and I'll abstain, but I guess 3 takes the vote. So thank you very much. I guess I will proceed as the newly elected chair. We also need to have a vice chair. Again, I'll take your input if anybody wants to run for this position, or we can decide to hold off till the next meeting with the expectation that we'll have another commissioner then. What's your pleasure?
I think it's important that we have a vice chair in the event that you're unable to make the meeting for whatever reason. So at least
Okay,
going. And I think we should do so now so that we have a team in place to lead us
Okay.
to the next decade.
okay. We can proceed. Nominations.
And
I will
nominate,
nom,
go
go
ahead.
ahead, Ray. Ray,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
You first, Harry.
I was going to nominate Commissioner Fong to be the vice chair.
I'm sorry. I'll second the nomination.
Okay, so I guess we should vote on this now. We'll do a roll call vote of,
Oh, I think, Chair, if we want to be consistent with the last round, I think there would first be a motion to close nominations, to see if there are others, and then a vote on the vice chair. But I think first would be a call for any other nominations before they're closed.
okay. Are there any other nominations? And self-nomination is allowed.
I move to close the nominations.
I'll second.
All righty, so I guess we will call for the vote for Commissioner Fong to become the vice chair. So we'll start with Commissioner Gralty.
Aye.
Commissioner Fong, you can vote for yourself, I guess.
Do I have to vote or can I abstain?
Oh, this is, sorry, Chair, this is the vote to close nominations, and then there will be.
Sorry,
Oh, all right. Aye.
sorry.
Sorry about that.
Okay, so we're closing nominations. Okay, Commissioner McCarthy.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye to close the nominations. Okay, so now we will call for the vote of Commissioner Fong as vice chair. Commissioner Gralty, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Fong, how do you vote?
Can I abstain?
Sure.
I'll abstain.
Commissioner McCarthy,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. So congratulations, Commissioner Fong. You are now the vice chair.
Thank you very much. I'm honored and privileged to be the vice chair.
Okay.
Thank you all very much. If I may check with just Susan real quick. So on that one, there wasn't a motion for Vice Chair Fong to serve as vice chair. There was just a vote, but he was the only nominee. I think that should still be okay. There's still a vote, but Susan, do you have any concerns?
I thought that there was a vote, a motion to nominate him as vice chair.
Yeah, there was the motion to nominate him, and then that was, oh, a motion to elect him as vice chair?
Yeah.
Okay,
No, motion to nominate, and then, I'm sorry, what is your
right.
question?
So sorry. So with the chair, we had the nominations, then we had the motion to close nominations, then we had a motion to elect Chair Wood as chair. And then for vice chair, we had nominations. We had Commissioner Gralty move to close the nominations. There was a vote on that. And then there was a vote on him as Commissioner Fong as vice chair, but not a motion to elect him as vice chair. I think either way, there has been a vote on him as vice chair there because he was the only nominee. All right. Apologies for all the technicalities, folks. We just want to make sure we got everything dotted and crossed.
It's important. These are high-paying jobs we're talking about.
Yes, if we ever go back to meeting in the office, there's probably a cup of coffee
Maybe.
as part of the deal.
In fact, Chair Wood, I'm glad you mentioned that because Commissioner de Guzman had left gifts for all the commissioners, including the new Commissioner McCarthy, and yours, Chair Wood, and Commissioner McCarthy's are still here in the office. We've been meeting together. So prizes await you when you come in.
Someday that'll happen.
Yeah, it's not anything perishable, I hope, because it'll be a while.
Not anymore. Yeah.
West is monopuas that are perishable.
Yeah, if you say it's food, I'll be down right after the meeting. No problem.
I'll bring some chassis bao on the first in-person meeting. Okay, you guys happy? I didn't realize being a vice chair, I got to bring food too.
Right.
Unspoken duties. Okay, so as long as we're all proper on our process there, we'll move ahead on the agenda to the executive director's report. So, Dan,
All right.
would you like to update us?
Thank you, Chair. All right. So on update regarding the new commissioner. The most recent information I had was that there were 2 names with the governor's office, and I had asked that they let me know as soon as the person was chosen. I have not heard anything from them on this point since. I will check in again with them soon, but I don't have anything yet. I think he has 60 days from the date he received the 2 names to make the choice. Okay, on staffing update, I can't recall, sorry, I can't see Ginny here. Did we discuss, oh, no, there's Ginny. Did we discuss Ginny at last month's meeting? I can't recall. I don't think so. So I'm very both happy and sad to report that Ginny will be retiring from the office in, I think, well, officially as of the end of December, but her last day will be September-ish, I think. So she has had a long and illustrious career here with the Ethics Commission. We are going to miss her very, very much and her expertise. And so she's been working extraordinarily hard over the last couple of weeks to try to wrap up cases she's working on and get things all tidied up. But it's been a real pleasure working with her for the last 5 years, and we're all going to miss her a lot.
And can I ask you a question? How long has she been working for the Ethics Commission? And the second question, what is she going to do after she retires?
Ginny, do you want to respond directly? You're muted, but I think didn't you just, you're still muted, Ginny. I believe it was, did you just hit 25 years? with the commission?
26 years. And what I'm going to do after I retire immediately is sleep in.
Best thing about being retired.
But I'm going to really miss it. It's it's bittersweet, but the time's come, but I really enjoyed it.
Well, thank you.
It doesn't really feel like 26 years, but
I think you can go another 4 to make it 30 and just round it out.
maybe.
Well,
So are you?
congratulations on your great career at the Ethics Commission, Ginny.
Thank you.
I'm gonna miss you, but are you going to publish a book or something? Write a book?
I haven't thought about it, but maybe I should. My memoirs of working here.
What would you say was your most interesting or difficult case in your 26 years?
Gee, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Maybe it was, well, the longest one I think were the golf cases where we had to deal with, I can't remember how many people. Yeah.
And you're still having nightmares over the HSTA chaperone case, right?
Nah, I got over that. Took a while, but I got over that.
So in terms of seniority, who's now the most senior staff person now that Jeannie's going to be retiring? Would it be you, Susan? How many? Should I ask how many years, or is that confidential?
You're muted, Susan.
Oh yeah, so for me, it's 30. Oh, I don't know.
So,
3.
35, something like that.
Oh,
Some
gosh.
ridiculous number.
35 years?
Well,
Good
Wow.
heavens,
Yeah.
you started on the Ethics Commission right out of high school?
I did.
yeah. Well, congratulations to you, Susan, as well. That's an amazing record.
Thank you.
were you already on the staff when they passed the law establishing the Ethics Commission?
No. No, I wasn't.
Actually,
Well-
and we can't forget Nancy too, because actually Susan and Nancy have been here longer than I have.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah.
And,
Wow.
and Nancy plays it close to the vest. She won't talk unless she has to, so.
I'm trying to save bandwidth here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm thinking here, once you retire from the commission and become a public citizen, I guess you could run to become a commissioner, yes?
Uh,
Yeah.
of what commission? I could.
Grateful, grateful you're not on
Good.
the commission.
Anyway, all right. Well, we wish you all the best, and we're glad you're going to be around for a little while longer.
I will.
Good.
Thank you.
So let's see. Next item is legislative session update.
My apologies, Chair. I had a couple other things on the ED report.
Okay,
So we
sorry.
just got a little sidetracked. No, that's okay. So education and training report, you have our statistics on how we've been doing. We're still scheduling and conducting Zoom classes. The staff has been incredibly helpful, particularly recently in taking over trainings that I was scheduled to do to free up time for me. So I'm very grateful for them for taking on extra work over the last couple of weeks and going forward for a couple of weeks also. Guidance and assignment statistics, again, we're still quite busy. Complaints are still coming in. I take that as a good sign. We have updated some information on our website to make it a little clear what the Ethics Commission's jurisdiction is and isn't, because we're still getting a fair number of complaints about county agencies and private entities and other things that are not within our jurisdiction. But we're still working with the complainants to parse those out and have them contact the agencies that are appropriate. For the financial report, you have our year-end financial report. As you will see, we ended the year substantially under budget. The legislature has cut our budget by 8%, same as all the other legislative agencies for the 2021 to 2022 fiscal year. And it was my goal to try to hit that 8% for last fiscal year, also 20 to 21. We were able to do that because we had one staff person leave and then we didn't fill that position. We delayed some salary increases. We cut all travel, we cut all unnecessary expenses, but because we knew that the state was in such a precarious financial situation, everyone in the office was really working hard to cut all expenses that weren't absolutely necessary so we could return as much as possible to the general fund. So after the upcoming fiscal year, I'm hopeful that the legislature will give us a substantial increase so that we can restore positions, bring salaries up to where they ought to be, and make some of the other purchases that we could use. But we're okay for the upcoming fiscal year. We won't have to we're not going to have to cut any positions. We're not going to have to cut any salaries. We're in a fine shape for the upcoming fiscal year.
Excellent.
Oh, sorry, Chair, go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask if any member of the public wishes to testify or comment on your report thus far.
Oh, yeah, please. I have a couple more items, but.
Nope, no comments. So go ahead. Keep
All
going.
right. Financial disclosure filings. I meant to get the most recent numbers this morning. We had published a list of people who had not filed last week, but we'd gotten the list down to, I think, in the 20s or so in terms of numbers of people who are still outstanding. So Bonita, do you happen to have any updated numbers that you can share with the commission right now? If not, that's okay, but.
Nobody.
Oh.
Sorry. So no, I think it's below 23. There were a couple of filings that came in after we posted the list, but I haven't gotten the latest report, but I can share that with the commission and provide an update later.
Okay, fantastic. I mean, compared to, Bonita, can you remind me where we are compared to previous years? Because if I recall correctly, the number of outstanding filers is still substantially lower than at this point in previous years.
Oh yeah, light years. I mean, we're talking like 300 to 350 in previous years compared to below 20. So astronomical difference. The automatic reminders and then staff support as usual has continued to bring that number to be a really low level that's manageable for follow-up. So.
Yeah, and I want to echo the staff support. Benita and Patrick, as well as Caroline and Lynn in our office, have done a simply amazing job in getting people signed up for their electronic accounts, guiding them through the filing process, sending out reminders. They've been tenacious and extraordinarily polite with people on the phone, because I walk by them all the time talking to people, and they're always calm and professional. So it's really amazing work that they're all doing. Great. Okay, that is it on financial disclosures. And I don't know that I have any other office projects or updates. The bar article that I've been discussing the last couple months, that's finalized and it's off to the publisher, and I will send it to you as soon as I have the final copy of that. I don't know if I have anything else. Staff, do you have anything else that you wanted to discuss with the commission? Okay, then Chair, that's my report.
Okay. So commissioners, members of the public, anybody have questions or comments on any of that? Other than to say hooray on getting those tardy filers down to a tiny number. Okay.
Hi. Hi.
Oh, yes, Sandy.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Sandy Ma with Common Cause. I actually do have one question. I was wondering if there's when you anticipate, or if you do anticipate, going back to in-person trainings, or a mix of in-person and online trainings for ethics.
Chair, if I may.
Yes.
So we do have one in-person training that we're going to be doing for a board. I believe next week Nancy is doing that. Most of the training requests that we've been getting lately have been for Zoom. I don't have a firm plan for when we plan to do public ones. I think we're still monitoring COVID conditions and guidelines from both the city and the state in terms of how we do it. But certainly if anyone is interested in having a training, they can always reach out to us and request, and then we can set up a Zoom. We haven't been setting sort of general trainings that we've been offering to the general public. We can do that, but we've been getting enough requests that we've been sort of busy with the trainings anyway. I also, if I can back up, thank you to Bonita. We have the final on the number of filers who are still outstanding, and we're down to 21.
Yay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Sandy, did that answer your question sufficiently?
Yes, thank you. I was just curious because I got a notice that the Honolulu Ethics Commission is starting to meet in person. Their next meeting next week is in person. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sandy. Were you asking about in-person meetings or in-person trainings?
I was only asking about trainings, but I could ask also about meetings in person.
Yeah, I mean, and that would essentially be up to the chair. I mean, there's the new legislation, which sort of continues what we've been doing. So I can discuss further with the chair, and we can see if we might move. But I don't know. My own take is that this format has allowed for more public participation than we may otherwise have. So I'd still like to keep some Zoom capability, even if we have in-person meetings.
Thank you. That's fine. Zoom is fine. Thank you.
Okay, so Dan, what about the legislative updates?
All right.
Developments there?
Yes, have some developments. So all the deadlines have passed and everything is either signed into law or vetoed or no more. So the good news is that the post-employment bill, the HB 671, was signed into law last week. So that goes into effect January 1, 2022. So for all the staff who have been really eager to leave the commission to go become private lobbyists, they've got a couple more months to get out the door and get on that before they have a 1-year cooling off period. I am joking, please don't. So I'm thrilled with that. I was not expecting that to, given COVID and given all the other legislative legislature's priorities this year. I was really delighted that they were able to spend the time to get this bill through. And I was also very happy that we managed to satisfy the governor's concerns and work it all out. I think this is a great bill. I think it's going to really help with this sort of perception of people leaving government and becoming lobbyists right away. 741 on the Ethics Commission records also became law, so that is fine. We can implement that just fine. The ERS bill, HB 670, that became law. 589, I think I am fairly certain that that's a compromise bill came out and was, I can't remember if it was a veto override or if it then was signed again or if it's still pending, actually. I'm so sorry, I meant to check this morning and didn't, but I know it was vetoed and then I think the legislature overrode. But let me see if
they amended it. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you, Susan. Great. All right, I will just double check one thing while I'm speaking about something else. All right, the contested case hearings, there are a couple of bills that allow boards and commissions to continue this kind of interactive technology that we've been using for the last year and a half. I think these are great things. Sandy, I'm sure, can discuss those bills in more detail if you have more questions. But generally, this is a good thing, particularly for people on neighbor islands who might want to participate in proceedings that are taking place on Oahu. So I don't have anything further on that. I'm looking again at SB 589 because I see it was enrolled to the governor again on Friday. So I actually don't know, Susan, I'm not sure whether it is final and enacted right now because all it says on the legislature site is enrolled to the governor on Friday. So I'm not certain about the governor's time to look at that again. Sandy, do you happen to know offhand the timing on bills that were vetoed and then amended?
He has 10 business days to veto. If it doesn't, it becomes law.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think this 589 and the current version of 589, this is the tech transfer bill that sort of got a bunch of other things thrown into it. The current version requires the commission to review tech transfer activities to see whether they are consistent with the ethics code, which they are necessarily not consistent with the ethics code because that's the whole point of having this tech transfer program. But we can, I've been in touch with the university and I'm sure we can figure out exactly what the legislature wants and we can figure out a way to do it relatively quickly. I am told also that the number of tech transfer projects that they have in any given year is going to be probably under 10. So we're talking a manageable number of things. We're not talking about hundreds or thousands. Yes, I agree. Okay, so I think that's it. That's all I have for legislative report, Chair.
Anybody, any questions or comments from commissioners or public? Nope. Hearing none, we'll move on to agenda item 5. You have anything to say about this?
No, thank you, Chair. No updates.
Okay, no
Can I
update.
ask Dan a question in regards to the Akana case? Where are we in this case? Hasn't it been over a year now? I don't remember. It's been so long.
Yeah, so the circuit court affirmed the commission's decision and order about a year ago. So it's been pending with the ICA for about a year.
So it's still in the ICA?
That's right, yeah.
It'll be there waiting for you, Dan.
Yeah,
I didn't say that.
so.
Ray said that.
Wishful thinking, sorry.
Okay, so no need for an executive session about that, I presume. And so, no questions, comments? Okay, so the one remaining item on the agenda is approval of the position description for the executive director. And I was thinking that it would be prudent to update the position description in the event we find ourselves with a vacancy, which we would rather not have, but you know, things happen. So we'll still need to meet to discuss the contents and timing of the application process. But have you all had a chance to review the position description, and what are your thoughts on the description as it stands?
Maybe I can just ask Dan to tell us what the changes were. Were they many, Dan? I don't see too many changes.
So the commission had updated this. I started in 2016, and as part of my first annual review in 2017, the commission had gone through and made some significant changes to the position description. So this is where it stood since 2017. I haven't gone through it in detail, and I'm sorry, Susan may have, but the only thing I would probably recommend, at least to start with, is just put the Okina in Hawaiʻi throughout, but otherwise it's probably okay, but others might have things they want to change. And I should also echo Chair Wood's comments right now. Right now I am very focused on doing this job here and also on the Senate confirmation process, and I am not taking anything for granted. So I just thought I just want to put that out there.
Well, am I to understand then, Dan, that it's basically making the language conform with the practice when it comes to the executive director, of what the requirements are, what the job description is?
I think the only thing, yeah, I don't have any thoughts right now on anything in here that needs to be changed. I don't know if anyone else does, but I don't have anything. You can also, if there is a vacancy in the executive director position, the commission would need to meet to decide what's going to go into the application package, what the timing is going to look like. And so you can look at this now. You could consider everything all at once. I had just spoken with Chair, and we thought, you know, maybe this is one thing that commission may want to get started on sooner rather than later, but can also defer on, you know, until such time as it's necessary.
Dan, let me ask you a question. In regards to this position, is it appropriate to have the staff, you know, input in regards to the position of executive director? I mean, they deal with executive director on a daily basis, and they may have some very good suggestions. So I like to, if it's proper, I like to have some input if they want to.
I think that is a great suggestion, Commissioner, or sorry, Vice Chair.
So staff, if you have any input, you could probably share that with Dan and with me, and we could pass that along to the whole commission for consideration at the next meeting, maybe. Does that sound right?
I think it would be a good idea for staff to comment, and I think it would be a good idea for us to defer this until we get the whole package together. You know, when is it, if there should be a vacancy, when are the applications due, et cetera, et cetera. As you remember from the previous selection process, it's a lot of work on the part of the commissioners. There's a lot of things to do and worry about. And we're going to get many, many applicants, some of whom are going to give us 45-page applications, as we saw. So I think we should just defer that and do it all one time, as cumbersome as that may be, but I think we need to do it all one time.
I'll echo that recommendation. And like, if I'm going to evaluate whatever is necessary to be evaluated, I like to have the whole package in front of me, and then I can move on.
Okay, so shall I make a motion to defer then the approval of the revised executive director's job description?
I think, Commissioner, we could, and Chair, we could probably just do it by consensus if you want to simply defer the matter. I don't think you need a vote.
Okay.
Okay, let us defer and hope that the process goes very slowly. That'll be good. So, do we have, let's see. Do we have any other comments, questions? Otherwise, I'd like to get a motion to adjourn. Just would somebody make that motion, please? Second?
Second,
Okay. Commissioner Gralty,
Aye.
Commissioner Fong,
aye.
Commissioner McCarthy,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. So let's take a 5-minute break, no more than that. My